Hi friends, if I could box up a big old box of love for you, I would, because I absolutely love my most amazing artists. So let me show you how to create a big old box of love. This is going to involve a lot of skills. You're going to need to be cutting, gluing, working with symmetry, and also designing a three-dimensional box. So the first thing you're going to need is a pencil and either a scrap piece of paper or a sketchbook. I'm going to use my sketchbook. So I'm going to practice drawing a box. So you might want to practice with me, or if you feel confident, you could actually start on your final paper. So you're going to need a piece of brown paper of some sort, or if you don't have brown paper, you could color a piece of white paper with a brown crayon and then work with that. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one of the flaps, the flap that comes down from the top. So I'm going to draw a straight horizontal line, and then a diagonal line and a diagonal line, kind of like a little rooftop. And then I'm gonna draw another straight horizontal line. So that's gonna be like one of the flaps that opens up. Like when you open up the top of a box, this is gonna be hanging over the edge. Now I'm gonna draw the bottom of the box. So I draw myself a rectangle. All right, now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a smaller than this rectangle on the back of the box. This is going to be the other side of the box that's parallel to this, but I've got to draw it smaller. So I don't need to come out here, I need to come in a little bit. So I'm going to do two straight lines where I come in a little bit from here. And then I'm going to do another horizontal line. Horizontal lines go across, vertical lines go up and down. All right, so now I'm ready to connect these two, and you'll see what I just did. What I'm doing is I just drew the inside of the box. So this is the inside of the box, and this is the flap coming forward, and this is the front of the box. All right, now it's time to draw those side flaps. So I'm going to draw a diagonal, and then connect those two. And now I've got a flap coming off the side. A diagonal. I try to make these diagonals match and these diagonals match. All right, so now I have a box where the flaps are coming off the sides and the front. All right, I need this box to look a little bit more realistic though, so I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to do a little bit of shading. You could even do this with a marker. Okay, so I'm just shading a little bit with my pencil. I can also shade the inside of the box. So I'm going to shade inside of here to make it look more like it's the inside. Now I didn't do a back flap because that flap is hanging back behind the box where we can't actually see it. So now I have my box all ready, and I'm gonna have hearts coming out of this box. All right, so now that I've practiced here, I'm gonna do my final copy. And I feel pretty confident, so I'm gonna use my black marker. You could always use a pencil first and then trace it. And if you don't have a black marker, then you could just use your pencil altogether. All right, so I'm gonna draw my top flap, and I'm gonna try to fill up this paper. If I wind up drawing a box this big, there's not gonna be very much room for my hearts to fly out of the top of the box. All right, so I'm gonna draw my long horizontal line, my two diagonals, looks slanted like a slide. I'm gonna go across, and so here's my little rooftop, and now I'm gonna draw a rectangle bottom. Come right across. And these lines do not have to be perfect. If you want to use a ruler, you could, but it's not a big deal if they're not exactly perfect. All right, now I'm going to draw that smaller rectangle coming in. Come across. And then I'm going to connect the sides. Boop and boop. All right, so this is the inside of my box, the front flap, and the front of the box. Now I'm ready for those flaps coming off the side. Two diagonals. I make this one a little longer because it's closer to me. When things are further back, they're shorter. All right, now I'm gonna do my shading, and I can do this with my pen, a marker, a pencil, whatever you wanna do. So I'm just doing my shading this way. You could also do hatching or cross hatching. All right, so now my box is ready. All right, this box needs to be cut out and glued to my blue paper. I'm gonna go ahead and get some hearts ready though. So I'm gonna take my little scraps of paper here, and I'm gonna fold them in half. You can just cut a heart out, or you can do it the way that I'm showing you. So this is how I get my hearts completely symmetrical. So I fold the paper in half, and I'm gonna take my pencil and draw half of a heart, but it has to be toward the fold. If I draw it this way, it's gonna fall apart. So I just drew this going toward the fold. All right, and then I'm gonna do some more. Fold them in half, All right, I'm gonna draw my heart toward the fold, not touching the open edge of the paper. So you're drawing it toward this, like the spine of a book or the spine of your folded paper. And you can make some of your hearts tall and skinny, some of your hearts a little bit fatter. You can also do mini hearts. Like on this one, I just fit 2 together. All right, this one's gonna be a big one. And it's okay for some of your hearts to be big. This one's gonna be long and skinny. But like I said, you can also cut out some hearts not on the fold, whichever way you prefer to do it. This is symmetry. Symmetry is where things are the same on both sides. Okay, so now I've got these papers well used. I feel like I've used up the space pretty nicely. And I'm gonna use my scissors to cut into them. Let me hold these folded pieces together and trim right on that line. And when I open it up, I've got magic, which is pretty cool. All right, I also need to cut out my box very carefully. Notice when I'm using my scissors, friends, that I turn my paper instead of my scissors. I find that it's a lot easier to cut that way. All right, my box is ready. And then my hearts are gonna start coming out of the top of that box. Now, since I kept the paper folded and I drew a full heart on here, you know what's gonna happen whenever I get done cutting this heart out? I'm actually gonna have double, which is pretty cool. And I'm gonna glue these all in different directions. You can have some hearts overlapping other hearts. Something cool you could also do is take one of your hearts and kind of cut it. Just cut a piece off of it and glue it where it looks like it's coming out of the box and part of it's still in the box. After you've cut as many hearts as you can, you could also draw some hearts on as well and add some more details and some more designs. All right, time to glue.